work session to order.
Miller,
Here.
Kay, Briggs,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Okay, council discussion. Ms. Slagle?
Yes, our first item this evening is our economic development update, our annual update on activities. And so we will turn to Russell Runge to give us our numbers.
It's been a normal year.
Yeah, okay.
As you can see, our population is relatively static as it has been in the past couple of years. Haven't seen a whole lot of just overall growth. Unfortunately, as much as we would like to, but some good things have been happening in the community. 2019, which is obviously what we're going to have for wages, show those numbers are up. In 2018, it was 36,336, and in 17, it was 34,952 for the average annual income. And average hourly wage was up from 1680 in 17 and 1747 in 2018. So that's showing some growth. Here's the unemployment. As you can see, this normal year of bizarreness. And here's where it shows the labor force numbers and those employed in the community.
So we can obviously look at the 2020 and see the spike of COVID.
Right.
But we've come right back in line when you look at that 2020.
And if you look at this crazy chart here shows the unemployment rate from 1992 to present, look at that crazy blip. It's insane. Comparing some other communities near us, similar size, has a same type of makeup. As I mentioned last year, Callaway is significantly higher, primarily because of the nuclear facility. Total projects, 725, so it was a good year for construction. A lot of people doing home improvements and whatnot, so the combined number of 11,930,000 is combined commercial and home repairs. Zenith did have their annual fly-in and utilized our new apron. They had over 50 planes at one point on the apron, on the ground. Pretty impressive. Some of the things we're working on is an airport layout plan. We'll have that finished this year. That lays out your 5-year plan of different things that FAA either wants you to do or that you would like to have taken care of yourself. As you all are aware, we receive $100,000 from MoDOT Aviation, from the FAA every year, and we can bank that money up to a certain point and then use it to do some larger projects. Currently, we're working on the edge lighting project on the runway, and in the future, we'll be doing it on the other runway as well. We'll also need to be widening on 5 feet on each side to bring it up to proper standards, runway 1836, to be 60 feet wide as opposed to 50 feet. So we're spacing the lighting out that we're doing on that to be ready for that project in the future. One of the main issues that we've had in the past was the fact that when the runways was expanded, there was a building that was in the way that was already there. And that building fits into a imaginary cone of protection that you can't have anything in. So in theory, you can't use a certain section of that building because that cone extends into it. And so what we've done in this airport layout plan is to change one of the displacements. There's a displacement on either side of that runway, and we're trying to get one of them removed so then we can move the other one back and it's out of the building. These are some pictures from the fly-in as well. Obviously, a camera taped to the wing of that Zenith plane. There's Teva, the other sore spot. Starting to do some demolition work there. As you can see, aerial photo of that. What that's going to leave it with is a 95-acre site with some really good infrastructure in place.
0570.
Plant Science Center is on their, working on their second shift.
0570.
Continue to add people. And doing quite well. I've got a great product. Glad to see that the facility is finally being used for what it was meant for. Arthur Center continues to grow, add different programs and different concern needs from in the community, and that's good to see as well. This is Jack's new venture in the Oak Acres. This is Plat 8. Jack Creason, and seeing some much-needed new housing opportunities. There's a green facility from the air, what's left of it. As most of you are aware, the contractor doing work for the owner, his responsibility was to take down all the buildings in the back and to leave the front 3 buildings, which he has done. The property is proposed to be, once it's cleaned, by this owner. It's proposed by him that he is going to replat it and then develop it. There's the finally constructed home bank. Nice addition to the community, and then the Seidenstricker Nabi partnership that took place last year, Illinois firm, makes them a very large John Deere dealership. Just the beginnings of United Credit Union's new construction. They're on Liberty Street. That'll be a nice addition for them. They've needed additional offices for some time. And there's our medical marijuana facility. Did a lot of work on that building. Children's Eye Care's facility is in the final stages of being finished as well. And MACC continues to add courses and do well here in town. I think that they have seen benefit from the COVID and people not going to four-year schools. There's a finalized pump supply building. And then there's the finished product of Spartan. They continue to add, bring in machinery, and we'll do so for a few years until they get all of their new machines in. Very large machines. Abacus Logistics Solutions at 2201 Lakeview, which had been a building that the city owns, purchased that building from us. They have had and currently have over 100 people employed. There's the Liberty Street development that has 6 different businesses in it now. There's just still a couple of openings that they have in it as well. It's a nice addition to Liberty Street too. And then Progressive did some work on their building that they owned before or purchased before, and moved their operation from where they were on Clark Street over to, what is that, Jackson?
Promenade, I believe.
Promenade. And that's a nice facility. There's a detail shop that's in their old location now. Brookstone building was sold to True Manufacturing. They plan to add additional 35 employees to that operation, and that will be his warehouse distribution for them. They apparently had an operation in St. Louis that they were leasing, and that lease was coming due, so they decided to buy this since it was right adjacent to their manufacturing facility. Some of the things that the Missouri Partnership, which is the marketing branch for the state of Missouri, works closely with the communities in the state to try to find events that would be beneficial to those communities, to the state, and kind of mirror some of the types of industry that are in Missouri. So some of these we'll tag along with them if like, for example, Sedalia, Columbia, and I were supposed to have gone to the Cleveland-Pittsburgh mission this past year. Instead, we did that online. And it worked out fairly well, but it's still not the same as meeting in person. These are some of the other ones that they have set up. We hope to be able to make in-person visits, but who knows how that's going to work out. Some of the other things that they'll do, and a lot of communities will participate with them on, they will invite consultants to attend some of these different events. And that's sometimes they've found is the easiest way to get them to come to the state to do these types of partnerships. Some of the other additional things that they will attend, the partnership will attend on behalf of the state of Missouri. Let's see if I missed anything here. We did work with the county, with a firm that has been used in the past to create a labor study. One of the things that we're in need of, as it's everyone, is workforce, not just bodies, but qualified workers. We've made several strides trying to get different programs up and running. It's been kind of a challenge this year, obviously, working with the chamber to do those. We've been meeting with the hospital coalition group to try to make sure that we stay engaged with the potential buyer of the hospital and the current owner to make sure that transition does occur. And if it's not with this potential current buyer, then we'll work to try to find another one. As I mentioned, did do the Insight Missouri Consultants event with Cleveland and Pittsburgh consultants. Attended the Governor's Conference virtually. Made contact with the West Plaza owner several times about potential tenants there. Let's see, we did sell the 2201 Lakeview building, as I mentioned. And we hope to redo this labor study again because the COVID pandemic hit the school where it was done, the college where it was done, kind of right in the middle of it. So the information that we currently have has kind of been extrapolated from it, and it's not as accurate as we would like. So we're hopeful that we'll be able to redo it again in the fall when their students are back into that college. Don Foods did sell to all of their North American frozen food operations to Rise Baking Company. Fluid Power worked with them on future annexation. This past year, the Simmons Clinic partnered with Blessings Health Systems and renamed it the Hannibal Clinic. We did sign a 7-year lease with Home Depot in the city-owned building on JJ. That's the building that's currently in the zone at the end of the runway. So it being a warehouse, it works out just fine. And let's see.
So your cone is across the highway?
Yes.
It extends across the highway?
And to like a...
Is that because planes flying in and land?
And the runway itself is actually at an angle. So as it comes out, it extends into that, yeah.
Okay.
Continue to work on our ACT Work Ready Communities initiative, and working with the owner of the Greens property in hopes that that will be redeveloped. Held several meetings with the joint venture regarding the Plant Science Center. Airport Advisory Board meetings can continue to keep them involved with what our plans are. And we did need to purchase some new furniture there for the terminal building. Did have part of the problem was the furniture was getting too hot because there's a big window next to it. So we did do some tinting on that window. So maybe that'll help in the future. And got some rail spur repairs done this year. And I'm the current president of the Missouri Economic Development Finance Association, and will be for a 2-year stretch. That's all I have, I think. You guys have any questions for me? Try to answer them.
Do you know what the status right now is with the hospital? What's going on with that? Because I thought originally it was supposed to be about done by now, and I haven't heard anything. So,
well, I think there was a lot more due diligence that needed to be done by the Noble Health folks than they thought there was going to need to be done. But Chris, as far as I know, and the last that I spoke with the group, it's still moving forward. So it's a pretty substantial purchase for somebody who's never been in a hospital business. So.
and then with the AP Green property, what's the status with that as far as we're concerned with them?
As far as the property
city
itself sits,
yeah.
Still the same. You know, the contractor's still out there taking care of things. I'm going with what I've been told by the owner, and that his plans are to redevelop the site. So, and it will be a good site because of all the infrastructure that's there. You know, the gas, electric, everything is in place, and it should be pretty good. But if he's willing to do what he said he would initially.
Chris, we do, as you knew, we were, because they didn't pay the NIT assessments, and so we pursued legal. And we did receive a judgment against them. And so that is in the process right now of the appeal time if they have it. So, but assuming that they don't appeal, then we'll have that judgment entered permanently that they owe us on that, and that's on the record. So, and if they fail to do that, then we can move forth with obtaining the property we choose. But in the meantime, they have every right to continue to do what they're doing until all that time runs.
Appreciate it.
I've got a couple other comments and follow-up to Russell's points that, and I'm sure you have noticed, especially in the paper the last month, where you see Spartan every day run a full-page ad. I mean, they're trying to hire people, and True is trying to hire folks, and as Russell commented about, you know, Tiger Soy. So, I mean, we're looking at a 3% employment, and people are just literally begging and advertising for folks. So, in some ways, we're in a very good position from people trying to hire. Bad from the point of view we don't seem to have the bodies that they're looking for. The numbers that are necessary. So that's kind of the issues that we're struggling with a little. But then I turn around and look at some other things outside of this as far as a community, and I think, you know, we're a very positive year when the use tax passed, and it gives us an opportunity to do some things. And, you know, we're moving forward with the swimming pool renovation project. We got the new ADA playground up at Plunkett. You know, we have the youth basketball court, sidewalk, shelter floor, all that going on over at Garfield. You know, as a city, you know, Again, we were named, the 29th safest city in the state for 2020, and that's through the National Council of Home Safety and Security. So, good community. The last 3 years running, we've been in Realtor.com as within the top 10 cities within the country as a place you'd actually want to live for communities our size. So all of those things are important. And then something, that the city took on that we did is, refinancing those wastewater bonds. And it was a great opportunity economically to do that. But, that saved $3.3 million in interest costs over the life that we have left on those. So, there are a lot of other wonderful positive things that we're working on as well that all have an impact in the quality of life for our community.
Any other business?
I make a motion, we adjourn from the work session.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Before we get started,
I make a motion that we...
I just have to kind of call it over. I call the December 14, 2020 Mexico City Council meeting to order.
Miller,
Yes.
Hay, Briggs,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Okay. First order of business, the approval of the November 23rd, 2020 regular session meeting.
I move we approve the November 23rd minutes.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Okay, first we have resolutions, reading by title only and passage. Bill number 2020-70, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with the Mexico Area Chamber of Commerce, the County of Audrain, and Audrain Development Incorporated to assist in economic development activities for the city of Mexico. Mr. Slagle.
Yes, Your Honor, the attached resolution authorizes the city to enter into this agreement with the Mexico Area Chamber of Commerce, County of Audrain, and Audrain Development, Inc., doing business as Progress Mexico. And as the four partners, we assist in economic development activities throughout the city and county. The funding for this agreement is in the Economic Development Fund budget. Each entity contributes $5,000 for support and cost of the activities that are listed in the agreement. This is an existing agreement. This is the renewal of that agreement, and we would recommend that council approve and enter into this agreement to promote development activities and proceed with reading by title only and passage of the attached resolution.
Okay, it's the pleasure of the council.
I move for first reading of Bill 2020-70.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Williams.
Yep.
Bill number 2020-70, resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with the Mexico Area Chamber of Commerce, the County of Audrain, Audrain Development Incorporated to assist in economic development activities for the city of Mexico. I move for passage.
Second.
Passage of Bill number 2020.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Okay, bill number 2020-71, a resolution committing funding to the Transportation Alternatives Program TAP, Office of the Missouri Department of Transportation. Mr. Slagle.
Yes, council. Every 2 years, we get an opportunity to apply for transportation alternative programs. These are the sidewalks and trails and so on. We're looking at proceeding with the Muldrow project as far as Phase 2 to cover the details of the grant. Kenzie Ross?
This resolution is a resolution that commits the city funding to the project. It's actually part of the grant application. So we're in the process of putting that application together. This is one of the requirements for that application. It's not a guarantee that we're going to have a project. I wish it was, but it's not. We began the Muldrow Sidewalk project with a TAP grant. That's currently under construction, approximately 50% complete today. The east side is nearly done, and they'll be starting on the west side of Jackson to Quisenberry with the current project. This project would be a second phase and would extend those sidewalks south from Quisenberry to Buchanan. And the resolution is the project is a 75-25 project, so the city's 25% share amounts to about $48,500 based on our budget estimate, I'll call it, since this is not a designed project yet. I hesitate to call it an engineering estimate. But that's what we would be committing to a project of roughly $170,000. With the engineering cost, it's about $194,000. So we anticipate about $24,000 in engineering costs that would also be part of the grant. These projects, of course, are on a major street. It is a part of the sidewalk transition plan that the council adopted a couple of years ago. And because it would be a second phase, it's a follow-through to what we've already started. And we would recommend that the council pass the resolution to commit the funding.
So what you're saying is that we'd be approving money for a project, but we don't know if the grant is going to be available yet? Is that what you're saying?
You'd be saying that you will support the project
We'll support
with
it
funding if we get it.
If we get the grant?
Yes,
Okay,
it's not like a budget resolution.
Right. Okay.
It'd be in next year's budget, wouldn't it, if we did it?
The bulk of it would be next year, if because they're two-year projects. The award announcement's supposed to be March of 2021. If we're funded in the first year, it would take a couple of months to select an engineer, begin the design. We would have some of the engineering costs that could be in this budget year. We have a sidewalk improvements budget line item that would support that amount of cost, and then the bulk of it we would be budgeting for the 2022 year, and that would be the construction costs.
So when would we know about the grant?
March.
March, okay.
Coming up in March. If we're funded in the second year of the program, of course, then all of that's going to fall in the next budget year.
Okay.
I make a motion to read bill number 2020-71.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes. Bill number 2020-71, a resolution committing funding to the Transportation Alternatives Program offered through the Missouri Department of Transportation. I move for passage of bill number 2020-71.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Okay, bill number 2020-72, a resolution for the City of Mexico, Missouri, supporting the Audrey County Health Department's Mask Advisory, issued November 12, 2020 to January 15, 2021. Mr. Slater.
Yes, Your Honor. Council received a request from Audrain County Department of Health to support their resolution, which would be the endorsement of a mask advisory. Craig Brace, Executive Director, released a statement about all of it and the increase, recent spike in a number of cases and the response. And so what they're really asking for from the Mask Advisory for Audrain County businesses and residents to continue to wear a mask when you're out in public, at least through January 15th, is according to what they have at this point. The mask advisory obviously includes wearing a mask in public and other settings outside of the home where social distancing is not possible. They also ask that you try to maintain social distancing of at least 6 feet whenever possible. Limit close contact with individuals to less than 15 minutes in a cumulative 24-hour period. continue with the personal hygiene, such as washing hands and those issues. And of course, certainly stay at home when sick, or if you have symptoms, and self-isolate from even other family members. At the last council meeting, because we had just received that request that day, we were not able to put it on the agenda, but council did proceed at that meeting with a motion of support at that time. And so we did not act upon a resolution. So at this time, council, it is totally up to you if you wish to proceed with a resolution or of anything further action, and we just put it back on the agenda for your consideration and discussion as you wish to do.
The county commission adopted the resolution, didn't
The
it?
county commission did adopt a resolution of support.
Yeah. I move for first reading of bill number 2020-72.
Second.
Miller.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.
Shivers.
Yes.
Williams.
A resolution of the City of Mexico, Missouri supporting the Audrain County Health Department's mask advisory issued November 12th, 2020 to January 15, 2021. I move for passage.
Second.
Miller.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.
Shivers.
Yes.
Williams.
Hey. Next order of business is ordinances, 2 readings by title only and passage. Bill number 2020-73, an ordinance authorizing the City of New Mexico, Missouri to enter into certain agreements and take certain actions in connection with the assignment of the city's taxable industrial revenue bonds, South Surrounding Project Series 2016, and related documents. Mr. Slagle.
Yes, council, this really involves the property out at Soft Surroundings and Home Depot warehouses. And this is, the individual is, in essence, we are replacing one property owner for another investment property owner. And therefore, to cover the details of the resolution and who we're dealing with, Russell.
Yes, as Bruce mentioned, the city issued taxable revenue bonds for Soft Surroundings November 18, 2016. Proceeds of those were used to construct a 300,000 square foot facility on approximately 20.75 acres of real property owned by Metromex LLC on East Liberty Street. Project improvements and the property which the improvements are located are leased by Metromex LLC to the city, from the city back to Metromex, and from Metromex to Triad Catalog Company doing business as Soft Surroundings. As part of the tax incentive plan for Soft Surroundings, Metromex LLC has notified the city that they intend to sell their interest in the property to East Liberty Street Owners LLC. In conjunction with the sale of the property, the Metromex LLC intends to assign its interest in the bonds and the various related documents to East Liberty Street Owner LLC. East Liberty Street Owner LLC and its lender have requested the City of Mexico consent to and approve certain documents in connection with the sale and assignment of the property. Staff recommends that council proceed with 2 readings by title only and passage of the attached ordinance, authorizing the City of Mexico to execute certain documents pertaining to the assignment of the city's taxable industrial revenue bond, Series 2016. The ordinance has been posted the required time, and as Bruce mentioned, it's just basically a change of ownership and so legal means.
I move for reading of bill number 2020-73.
Second.
Miller.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Shivers.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.
Bill number 2020-73, an ordinance authorizing the City of Mexico, Missouri to enter into certain agreements and take certain actions in connection with the assignment of city's taxable industrial revenue bond, Soft Surrounding Project, Series 2016, and related documents. I move for the second reading of Bill 2020-73.
Second.
Miller.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Shivers.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.
Bill number 2020-73, an ordinance authorizing the City of Mexico, Missouri to enter into certain agreements and take certain actions in connection with the assignment of the city's taxable industrial revenue bond, Soft Surrounding Project, Series 2016, and related documents. I move for passage of Bill 2020-73.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Shivers.
Yes.
Briggs.
Okay. Next few are going to be, we'll do them individually, but they all relate to one main thing. And so we have bill number 2020-74, an ordinance accepting the stormwater maintenance agreement for the Mexico Public School District number 59 Mexico High School Sports Complex. Mr. Slagle.
Yes, Your Honor, the next three ordinances, as you mentioned, are all regarding stormwater maintenance agreements for three different property owners. So in order to review that, they're all the same, so we'll just, from a discussion point of view, we'll go over the document. In essence, one time, you'll just have three separate actions by three property owners. So to cover the actions that we're needing to perform, Drew Williford, staff engineer.
Good evening, Council. The City of Mexico is a regulated municipal separate storm sewer system community by the Department of Natural Resources. And part of that process involves the stormwater maintenance agreement. So any new construction site created at this point moving forward, and even dating back to about circa 2010 or so, that's over 1 acre in size, has one of these maintenance agreements on record with the city. And this assures that the facilities on site that address stormwater quality and quantity are properly maintained. They also set forth some inspection and maintenance routines for the owner. The city conducts a yearly inspection on the site to make sure that's in compliance with the maintenance agreement, and then files that with the Department of Natural Resources on typically an annual basis. And so what you have before you is three maintenance agreements, one with the Mexico Public School District number 59 for the Mexico High School Sports Complex, one with Home Bank for the Home Bank building that was built on South Clark Street, and one with HRM Services for the Teal Lake Village location over off of Amelia Drive. And each of these was an example of a site that was over that 1 acre threshold in construction size. And so the Public Works Department would request that the council move forward with reading, two readings, I'm sorry, but title only and passage of the, I believe, three ordinances. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
The only thing that when I was placing it, I was just noticing the original dates on each of the documents.
Yeah, backdating all the way to 2017. Yeah, that is correct. We're actually changing up some of our internal processes to begin running these through ordinances now. We had been doing that as a more administrative recording because there is no signing with the council. It's strictly executed to the city and then recorded on record. And so this streamlines the process, in essence, for staff to go through the council to get it accepted, and then in the ordinance is automatically recorded. Therefore, the process becomes quite streamlined this way.
That was a question I was going to ask too. So the stormwater drainage thing, when somebody submits a plan to you, you look at the natural resource, that goes through natural resources to begin with, right?
It actually is through the city only.
Through the city only?
Natural Resources puts the burden on the city in order to handle any kind of review of the site plan. So we check any kind of issue with stormwater quality, stormwater quantity, and then we're responsible for enforcement.
That was at the beginning, and now we're doing the maintenance. So we're making sure that they are complying with what they agreed to do.
Yep, and these are all developed at the time of construction, so it's nothing new per se. This is something that is being done to make sure they continue processing stormwater correctly.
Right. I move, let's see, where are we here? I move for first reading of bill number 2020-74.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Shivers.
Yes.
Yes.
Briggs.
Bill number 2020-74, an ordinance accepting the stormwater maintenance agreement for the Mexico Public Schools District number 59, Mexico High School Sports Complex. I move for passage, excuse me, I move for second reading.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Shivers.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes. Bill number 2020-74, an ordinance accepting the stormwater mains agreement for the public school district number 59, Mexico High School Sports Complex. I move for passage.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Shivers.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.
Okay. So, moving on to bill number 2020-75, an ordinance accepting the stormwater maintenance agreement for home bank.
I move for reading of bill number 2020-75.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Shivers.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.
Bill number 2020-75, an ordinance accepting the stormwater maintenance agreement for home bank. I move for the second reading of 2020-75.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Shivers.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.
Bill number 2020-75, an ordinance accepting the stormwater maintenance agreement for home bank. I move for passage of 2020-75.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Shivers.
Yes.
Yes.
Briggs.
Okay, bill number 2020-76, an ordinance accepting the stormwater maintenance agreement for HRM services for Teal Lake Village. What is the pleasure of the council?
I make a motion to read Bill 2020-76.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Shivers.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.
Bill number 2020-76, an ordinance accepting the stormwater maintenance agreement from HRM Services for Teal Lake Village. I move for second reading of Bill number 2020-76.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Shivers.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.
Bill number 2020-76, an ordinance accepting the stormwater maintenance agreement from HRM Services for Teal Lake Village. I move for passage of Bill 2020-76.
Second.
Miller.
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Shivers.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.
Okay. Bill number 2020-77, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute amendment number 1 of the state block grant agreement with the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission for grant funding in the Mexico Memorial Airport, project number 14-038A. Mr. Slater.
Yes, this ordinance, council, is an amendment 1 with a block grant, and this provides for an extension of time. The only other change to it. Cover the details of the agreement, and as Russell Rudge.
Yes, Council, the attached ordinance authorizes the city manager to execute Amendment 1 of the block grant agreement with MoDOT Aviation. This agreement is for the purpose of the airport layout plan update with narrative and GIS survey at the Mexico Airport. Council approved the agreement in March 2015 to assist the city with funding for the airport layout plan update with narrative and GIS survey. The amount of the grant was not to exceed $161,910, and local matching provided by the city not to exceed $17,990. Crawford, Murphy, and Tilley are the consultants on the project, and the final plan has not been completed. Amendment 1 provides an extension of time to March 31st, 2021 for completion of the work. Staff recommends council proceed with 2 readings by title only and passage of the attached ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute amendment number 1 with the state block grant agreement with MoDOT Aviation for grant funding at the Mexico Airport. The ordinance has been posted the required length of time.
What was the original date to be finished?
Marcia, you remember when that was?
I thought it was the end of this year.
Probably was December 31st, yeah.
And what's their reason? Why do they need more time?
The data that they had to compile for the airport layout plan was a little more complex than that they thought it was going to be. So it's just taking them more time.
Thank you. Move for passage of bill number 2020-77.
Second.
I mean, reading.
First reading.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Shivers.
Yes.
Briggs.
Yes.
Bill number 2020-77, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute amendment number 1 to the state block grant agreement with the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission for grant funding in the Mexico Memorial Airport. Move for second reading of bill number 2020-77.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Bill number 2020-77, ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute agreement number 1 to the state, amendment number 1 to the state block grant agreement with the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission for grant funding at the Mexico Memorial Airport. And move for passage of bill 2020-77.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Briggs.
Forgive me.
Yes.
I don't look like you.
Okay, and now we're ready to move to appointments to various boards. Mr. Slater.
Yes, Your Honor. The first we have is the Industrial Development Authority Board. Daniel Norman's term is expiring October 2020. He has expressed interest in reappointment. There are also 4 other open positions on this board, and we did receive an application from Eric Richardson wishing to serve. Council, if you wish, this is your appointment, so if you wish to make the reappointment of Daniel, that would be for a 6-year term through 2026. And then we'd need a separate motion if you wish to appoint Eric. That is possible for a number of different terms, but as long as you have them, appoint him. I would recommend the longest term, which would also run to 2026.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I move we appoint Daniel Norman to a term of 6 years to the Industrial Development Authority Board.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Also, would like to move that we appoint Eric Richardson to the Industrial Development Authority Board for a period of 6 years.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Okay. Next, next vote. Airport Advisory Board, Mr. Slater.
Yes, Your Honor. Here we have Steve Hagan and Dave Taylor's term expired in October. Both would like reappointment. We have not received any other applications, and so this could be a motion to reappoint both for a 3-year term.
I move we reappoint Steve Hagan and David Taylor for new term, or 3-year terms on the Mexico Airport Advisory Board.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Okay, Mexico Housing Authority.
Yes, Your Honor. This one is a current vacancy on the board, which requires to be filled by a Mexico Housing Authority resident. And this is a mayor's appointment, and you do have an application, and so I would ask that you make your consideration, and then we would need council to concur with the appointment.
I would suggest that the council that we appoint Sandy LaCote to be considered for the Mexico Housing Authority Board. He has met all of the requirements.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Okay. All right, and now the next order of business, we're almost there, everybody. Discussion to council second city council meeting in December.
Yes, council, historically, we have not held the second meeting in December because lots of times it falls exactly right at the holiday time. This one is a little different in that it is on a Monday in between, so it's entirely up to you guys if you wish to proceed. I don't know what your holiday plans are, who's going to be around, who's not, who's traveling. But in checking with staff this morning, we do not have any business at this time that would be necessary to meet, but we will be here if you tell us to be. But if you choose to cancel, we would need a motion to cancel that meeting, but also would authorize us to pay any necessary claims that we would have to finish any bills necessary to close out the year.
I move we cancel the second meeting in December of the Mexico City Council, and that we give authority to the staff to pay all claims that are due at that time.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Okay. Now, claims.
I make a motion to pay the bills?
Second?
Miller,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
All right, now we're moving to council comments. Mr. Williams.
It's nice to get the economic development report. Congratulations, Russell, on your presidency. And it's, it's amazing because you turn on the national news and you hear about all these dire situations around the country and people, we need a stimulus and we need this and we need that. And Mexico's running just like a fine-tuned engine. We're down there in unemployment. We got more jobs than we got bodies. So anybody out there watching wants to move somewhere, we got jobs. we could use you. And the mask advisory, I just hope people be safe through the holidays. Since the last time we were here, numbers have gone up more, deaths have gone up more. So it's unfortunate, and I hope people take it seriously through the holiday season. That's it.
Mr. Chairman Pro Tem Briggs.
Well, I just want to wish everybody Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and to the staff, city staff, and everybody else, all my colleagues on the council, and I hope Steve gets well quickly, and so we'll see you next year.
Mr. Miller.
I don't know anything I can say more than just living the dream here in Mexico, Missouri.
And enjoying watching your grandson and granddaughter
And
play
watching your
basketball.
grandson dunk the basketball.
That's right.
Mr. Sladen.
I have nothing else at this time, Your Honor.
And I just sort of mirror what's been said. Congratulations on your presidency, Russell, and just really encouraging people to do what is right, social distance, and do what we can to keep our businesses open and people safe throughout this holiday season. So please wear your mask when you're in public spaces. And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all. And that's all I have. And at this time, we have time for public comments. If you here would like to say comment, please state your name and address for the record and keep comments to a maximum of 3 minutes. Seeing there's none, then we have a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Miller,
Yes.
Briggs,
Yes.
Shivers,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.